Amen. So do you want to, we got maybe like 8 more minutes. If you want to tell us a little bit about your new book, Super Life, the 5 forces that will make you healthy, fit, and eternally awesome. That's the best book title I think I've ever heard. That's pretty cool. You know, it's funny that when I get approached to write this book, you know, the first, when the publisher asked me, what do you want to write about? And she goes, you want to write about superfoods? And, you know, obviously that's a no-brainer. I'm known for that. But the truth is I've been studying natural health for a long time. And I was like, I don't want to write about that right now. The reality is that even that you want to create a foundation for your body that gives it the greatest benefit for even when you're taking in nutrient foods. If your digestion is off, if your body's stressed out, if you're not having enough water, if you're not eating the right foods, your whole system, your whole environment inside yourself is very inefficient at receiving even healthy food. So I wanted to write a book on the 5, and there's actually a secret force in there, so there's actually 6. And it's some of what I was just kind of going off on the mental part of it. But there's these 5 forces, right, that help your body thrive. And when you understand these forces, from alkalinization, hydration, detoxification, on and on, when you understand that these things govern your body and thriving, then it kind of gets you away from this faddism that people are always trying to sell you something. What I wanted to do is give a guide, a very practical guide that can set yourself up so that your body can thrive, period. You know, the title came because I asked myself, what do I want to convey in this book? What do I care about? I ultimately care about having a super life. I care about having a super life on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And if my body is not in tune, I'm done. There's no part of me praying that's gonna help me have a healthier back or a flatter stomach. There's a reality that we're in that's physical, that's very real, that's here and now. And that is my whole life after my father died was one that I was going to live that powerful life in every step. And every step was to contribute to someone else's life. And so this book is a very practical guide in things that I have learned from masters before me of these principles, that when you understand the power of water and what kind of water, when you understand that eating fresh, whole foods support you from the oxygen, support you from the alkalinity, that actually, here's an important piece that I'll leave you with, or maybe not leave you, but one thing I take in the book, I spin a lot of things on their head. I talked about a lot of the things that we've accepted in our culture with health, with food, with nutrition, that isn't in our best interest. I talked on Shalene's podcast too about the protein myth. I go into the damaging effects of too much protein and how the badge of some sort of health supplement or food is like, oh, how much protein is it? How much protein does it have in it? And everyone's asking that question, when in reality, the body is super efficient at protein, and too much of it can absolutely and does cause some major problems in the body. So I dive into that. I also dive into, here's a huge point that I dive into, and it's really about the environment you're creating in your body. Everything that you take in is, just because you may like it, it's creating an environment, right? So if I go out to a field and I give it water and I put compost on it and I give it minerals and I take care of my field, what happens? That field grows amazing foods and I'm able to go harvest it and eat it. What happens if I go out and I don't really water it. I don't put any, let's say I spray chemicals all over it and all of that stuff, where I'm actually destroying the actual compounds in the soil and everything else. And then the soil actually changes. The reality is that everything that you're taking in your body, you're creating an environment inside. And this is what happened when the American Medical Association was founded. It was founded right after the coming into and the finding, really, not discovery, but the finding of penicillin by Louis Pasteur. And when he stumbled upon penicillin, he was like, hey, cool, that's the end of all disease, because we can annihilate all viruses. And this other guy named Antoine Becquem, he was a French chemist, he came in and said, no. That's not how it works. All of our medical models before that time, and what Antoine Becquem, are we still going?
Sorry, here.
There we go.
We got to echo.
So all of that was happening before that, Antoine Becquem was saying, listen, we're not catching colds. We're not catching diseases. We're creating environments that support the disease. We're creating environments that invite viruses, bacteria, all of those things. So he was saying that if you eat fresh and whole and all of these things, you're actually creating an environment that supports a strong immune system, because the intelligence of bacteria, virus, or anything else coming into the body also wants to survive. So when bacteria, virus, cancer, whatever comes into your body and it deems the environment that you've created is worthy for it to survive and thrive, it will. But if you've created a healthy environment with exercise, sleep, low stress, a bunch of plant foods, all of these things, then you're actually creating a better scenario, a better environment, so your body actually invites those things out. And it's a massive difference between our fearful, catching colds, over-vaccinating, overshot world, when in fact food is medicine, and it creates the environment so you don't host these things. I'm not saying it's the catch-all be-all, because there's always an anomaly where a 5-year-old kid comes into this world and has cancer. I'm not saying that, because there's many factors that are. But from our degenerative world that we're in, that's killing most people on this planet, most of it is the environment that you're creating by the things that you're putting in your mouth and the actions that you're taking or not taking. So I get into a lot of those different things that ultimately do what? Puts the power back on you. Puts the power back on you to create the life that you truly want. Because denial does not work with the body. Just because you can go into denial in your mind doesn't mean your body gets this get out of jail free. If you're shoveling Doritos in every day and it feels good here, guess where it doesn't feel, and you'll have to pay that debt. So, anyway, there's many things, and there's a lot of really good to-do lists, and a lot of people have really responded well, and it's getting a nice groundswell of support. So yeah, you can order on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all of the places, and even freaking Costco. How funny is that?
The last question is there going to be an audio version of this bad boy? It's funny. I keep getting that, and I reached out to my publisher, and she gave it an okay. So I don't know when I'm hoping I don't have to go to New York to do that, but I'm definitely going to do that and do the voice myself and read it myself, and hopefully that's within the next couple months. Awesome. Beautiful. Well, Darren, I can't thank you enough. This was beyond any expectations that I had going into this. Cool. And our team is called Team Boom, and we have a funny way of saying thank you at the end of our calls. So we're going to do that, and then we'll let you go. Well, 1 second. Yeah. I'm going to say, everyone, check out my new website, superlife.com. Tons of information. Sign up for the newsletter.
all of that stuff. I gotta say that because my team's working really hard to get more information out. So, but now I'm ready for the boom.
You already know. Good guess. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom!
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 Received.
Boom! Boom!
Boom back to you.
Thank you, Darren, so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. It was a great call.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Hope to see you at Summit.
How do I lift it?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go.